All right, so we have a very smart investor and very followed and loved investor in our studio amidst us this morning. It's a very rainy morning here in Mumbai, but Madhu Kela is still joining us in the studios. Madhu, thank you so much for dropping by.
Hi, good morning and good morning. Good to see you. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah, so Madhu, let's start by, the most important point in the mind of the market right now is in the budget tomorrow, especially in the backdrop of so much commentary coming in that, regulators saying mutual funds are taking away bulk of the deposits in the banking. Our SEBI as a regulator is sounding time and again worried about how the speculation on the FNO side is actually on a rise. Market is, expecting some move in the budget as well this time around in order to curb that. What is your view on overall scheme of things which are taking shape right now, looking at the data? And then in that light, is it okay, justified to expect some move?
Not a question I would have loved to start with, but any which way. I think, Ajay, even what is going on, I am completely and wholeheartedly supportive of what the government and the regulators are thinking. Because clearly, the retail crowd which is buying and selling all this put option and call option, I think there is lack of understanding amongst them as to what they are really getting into, and it has become a easy way to make money, even though people are not making money, but that hope that we can make money. If out of 10 trades, obviously 1 or 2 trades will go right, and that 2 trades keep on. I'll just give you a very alarming incident which I came across. So there is a friend of mine. He was saying that my mother actually asked me what is this FNO. She's 82-year-old, right? And this friend says, what have you got to do with FNO, and what do you want to do? He said that I have nothing to do with FNO. In our house, there is housework going on, and there are these 3 carpenters who come.
Wow.
They don't work between 9:15 and 3:30 because they are doing FNO trading, and our work has got slowed down. Now this is the incident which is like, it's not hearsay.
Yeah.
Now if this is the level at which it has gotten,
reached, yeah.
so it is alarming. I don't know what the central government can do, because what can you do in the budget in this? You can increase the STT, but that STT will not be only on FNO. It will be across the board. Or you can have a separate section. You can say that only an FNO transaction. I don't know what can do. But I am very sure, collectively between RBI, SEBI and government, there will be some action. And Ajay, we have to really give it to them, last 3-4 years, as and when SEBI actually did something. Market knee-jerk reaction was that this will do this will do that. I remember this intraday trading limit of 20 times, which was there. And when they started curbing it, I got so many fanatic calls from all my friends that this will dry up liquidity, this will happen, that will happen. But for all we know, that it was for the best interest, in an election day, when the market went down and when that volatility, even by 7-8%, we did not hear any broker default, because it was a systematically improved system. The other thing, I remember in my heydays, when we used to give 5-6% commission to distributor, and that was significantly brought down by the regulator. And you look at the result, it is in the best interest of the market. So I think there could be some knee-jerk reaction if there is something which happens on this FNO front, but I am very supportive of this.
The other point, what is the most healthy way of the government actually regulating, whether it's the RBI or SEBI or both? What is the healthy? Is STT increase the best
the smartest
option?
thing is to just increase the lot size so that the retail people can't just get in, basically.
Yeah.
But then, because you don't want to kill the market, right? If you already there is so much taxation, which is unreal. We are paying STT, we are paying income tax, we are paying dividend distribution, we are paying buyback tax, we are paying long-term capital, we are paying short-term capital. So there is already so much taxation. By increasing taxation, you are not going to serve purpose. You have no problem with the stock market. you have problem with the section of
Speculation,
people
yeah.
who are speculating. So thereby, I think if the regulator decides, they can curb it tomorrow morning.
Of
Trust
course.
me. Yeah.
Sure.
And I expect something will happen for sure.
Okay, so that's about the F&O and the expectation there. But what else are you expecting from budget, and what else would you have wanted to start the conversation with if not
As
F&O?
I would have started in 32 years of my career, I have not seen a more healthier position of the government as compared with where they are today, right? If you look at the overall situation of the country, we are amongst very few economies in the world which have still moderate inflation and high growth. It is not seen anywhere in the world. Our currency is stable. Our bond yields have fallen down from 7.3, 7.4% to now below 7%, right? Government overall situation is very good. With the buoyancy in taxation and also the RBI dividend coming in, they have created a very good fiscal room, right? So which will allow them, which potentially can allow them to even reduce the fiscal deficit from 5.1% to maybe 5 or even 4.9 and still spend money. But what is the market worried about today? I think market is on the budget, market is worried maybe on two counts. One, that they should not just dole out
Populist, you
billions
didn't do
of
this
dollars.
for fun. Yeah.
So let's look at the history of Modi ji. He is not a new prime minister or a new chief minister. You give me one instance in 25 years of his rule as a state government chief minister or as a central government wherein he has significantly compromised and doled out billions of dollars of cash.
And he's a capitalist by nature. He's not a socialist.
I mean, he is a right socialist, but he will not kill capitalism to become to become socialist.
Yeah.
So I don't expect why, if it has not happened in 25 years, why would it happen now? Second, what can the central government do populist now? Whatever the states have to do. See, this is very important to understand. The states are already doing. You see the number of schemes which are being announced by even southern states, they are announced by Maharashtra, which are announced by Haryana. So state government have to do a populist measure. They are giving direct money. But that will continue to happen. And if the central government does something, I expect that it could be very productive. Like if you say, अगर आपने मनरेगा बढ़ाया, supposing, can you call it populist? No, it is the need of the hour. If there is an employment generation which is needed, or you increase the PLI schemes, you include other sectors to give boost to manufacturing, or you a huge multiplier effect.
Yeah.
So I don't expect the populism to be at a level which can impact stock market.
Sure.
That's point number one. The point number two is relating to all these capital gains. Long term में हो जाएगा, short term marginal हो जाएगा. We have been hearing. So one thing which the market was overly worried, including me, was the inheritance tax.
Yes.
वो तो thanks to Rahul Gandhi वही खत्म हो गया. I don't think there is any discussion on inheritance tax. Now, I feel there is one engine of the economy or India which is doing well, which is the stock market. It is aiding to a lot of capital formation, right? A lot of companies are able to access capital. Secondly, if you look at the government, this is the most important data. In 2020, the market capitalization of PSU companies all put together was 13 lakh crores. And the government ownership was roughly 8.5 lakh crores in that. Come today, the market capitalization of all PSUs are roughly 80 lakh crores. Wow. And the government ownership is 52 lakh crores out of this 80 lakh crores, right? Now, if supposing, that's why I said that I have never seen a more healthier situation for the government. Now today, if they want to really take out even 1 lakh crore rupees, they have to say only sell 2-3% of the PSUs, and they can take out 1 lakh crore rupees, which can give them fiscal space of maybe 0.3-0.4%.
They have a lot of levers for liquidity.
Levers है, exactly वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ. तो मुझे नहीं लगता है कि why will they want to kill it? For what?
Upset the apple
And
cart.
it is not that the taxation is low. When we look at only the long-term capital gains or short-term capital gains, we think that this might be low. But when I combine dividend distribution, buyback taxation, STT, income tax which I am paying otherwise, and FNO का तो वैसे ही marginal tax लगता ही है in the gains. So I would say, why would they choke it? If there is some tinkering done here and there. But I am quite confident these are things which will come and go. Like even if there is something which is being done in terms of tinkering, there might be some noise, thoda bahut upar niche hoega, but it doesn't derail anything.
But that's the thing, that niche will be such a buying opportunity. Look what happened on the election outcome.
Yeah.
So much appetite in the market.
That is the beauty, na? That is the beauty. So one good part of, if you remove this FNO, I can tell you I have visited so many places in India in the last, 1 year. And all which I was trying to do all my life is to go to this retail investor and tell them to really participate in the India growth story, because that is why the foreigners should only make money or retail investors should go. But this is really happening now. Really happening. I went to my village. I was like a star. Like 25, 30, 40 people came across. All of my extended cousins, this, that, who never invested money in equity market are now investing. But again, the beauty is they are putting part of their saving as into investment. They are not like fully informed, but they are not like leverage, or they are doing FNO, or they are doing nothing. They are investing.
Just getting,
investing,
coming to the
which
market.
is a good thing. So equity is becoming a real asset class.
Really?
Till now, in my understanding, equity was what कोई tip दे दिया, थोड़ा बहुत कुछ पैसा बन गया, and it was like a source of income. But people have seen real wealth getting created. And trust me, the real money in this bull run is being made by retail
investors.
Retail investor. He is the hero of this bull run. True. And I say again, look at, say, take company. Again, this we are discussing for academic purposes. Take company like Suzlon. At 2 rupees, which was the institutional investor who was there?
No, it's a retail.
तो घर में माल किसके था बॉस? राइट, 2 रुपए का भाव आज 60 रुपए हुआ है, तो और वो रिटेलर का माल बिका नहीं होगा. And there are hundreds of examples when retail people, so I call them the real kaka in our market. They are so smart, I can't tell you. वो अपना छतरी, हाँ, वो छतरी लेके आएगा अपना, वो दलाल स्ट्रीट में 50 आदमियों को बात सुनेगा, जाके चुपचाप 2 सौदा करेगा, and they never sell. Today is the day of storytelling. I must tell you again, I had a person who was my sub-broker. In 1996, he left his job and joined me, and he was working closely with me. In 2001-2, he started on his own. Now his father used to be an investor in the market, kabhi 100 share, 200 share. But, this guy had only one rule in the family, that we will never sell our shares.
Wow.
Ajay, today their portfolio, a guy was working for 15,000 rupees a month of salary with me. Today his portfolio is hundreds of crores.
Wow.
My goodness. This is the power of
This is the power of retail, this is the power of compounding.
Yeah.
And I am telling you, people who have tasted this, they are the ones who are really committed in the market, and that is the buoyancy which you are seeing today.
That's why every dip is being bought.
But I was myself surprised, this guy, I thought कि यार ये कैसे उस दिन आपको शेयर बेचते नहीं हो, बोलता I never buy something which I have to sell.
Sure.
Whatever dividend comes, diligently I just go and invest in the market.
Wow, that's the story which you're telling.
Brilliant
Madhu,
story.
how are you analyzing the landscape now? इतना पैसा बन गया है last 3-4 साल में. People are thinking way beyond their imagination. But at the same time, are number of bargains also gone lower, or what's the right way to approach the market right now?
अजय दिल से बोलूं, अभी क्या है, कोई लूटने का बच्चा नहीं है.
There are no easy trades
So,
anymore.
let's say 3 years back, I could thump the table and tell you, ये भी ले लो, वो भी ले लो, वो भी ले लो. is struggle to invest money,
fresh
at least looking at the short term. If I am investing for a 3-year, 5-year, 10-year time frame, I can still make a case to invest, and which is what my horizon
Sure,
is.
of course.
So I am still able to find opportunities. But there is clearly, and I would say without hesitation, and in clear words, there is clear euphoria in a lot of sections of the markets, right? And people who are investing, they must understand what they are getting into. So don't go by any story, don't go by this person said this, that person said this. All of that doesn't work. In the eventuality, the market will always respect fundamentals, earning cash flow, right? And today we are buying companies at 100p, 200p, God alone knows. And there are everywhere. Can you name me one company in whole of India which is listed and there is no story in that company?
Sure. Yeah, you're right about
So,
it.
everywhere there is stories. So you can't go by all of these stories. You have to be very careful. And I would say, for instance, select PSUs. I was the first votary of investing in PSUs. And you remember
Yes,
we
of
did the
course.
detailed show when Nico and you, everyone was there. Right? This was 3 years back. Now I see section of even PSU market
So you've been
capitalization.
trimming some names here and there in your portfolio, which have done very well in the last 6-8 months.
No, I've been. Of course, I've been. But I must say, I'm not like worried. I'm not creating cash. So I've invested a lot in the private companies. That is where I see a lot of value. At least that is where some sanity is there. And we are still able to find selective opportunities in the market.
Last time you told us about how you're analyzing the entire rural side for fresh opportunity. That space hasn't done well for the last 2-3 years.
So that is a contrarian thing, and that's another thing which I would say, even going by the last election, that is where actually the real stress is. If you look at the rural side of the demand and the loss of BJP in this last election, it has come mainly from rural India.
rural side.
So I expect government to give significant boost to
So which
the rural
categories
side.
look good there?
I think you have to dig deeper. It is not. I can't say that you buy
Just
rural to
consumption.
just buy fertilizer shares or you buy
Exactly.
consumption. Within consumption also there is such wide variety that one company is trading at 100p, the other is trading at 25p. So it is bottom up
But
idea.
any
But some
categories there? Is it rural financiers? Is it pipe companies? Is it,
it could be
motor companies? Pump
it could
companies?
be. I am saying there will be.
Okay.
But I am saying these are bottom up opportunities. We are already invested in few of them. I am sorry we can't discuss the stock specific. But there is an opportunity in this basket. So as of today, I am preempting your next question. So I don't see really a big sector where I can bet, but I see a
Companies.
bottom-up opportunity in financial sector. So let's just analyze the overall scope of the financial sector. Out of $5 trillion, more than $1 trillion is financial sector. And there are, let's say, 120 companies which are listed in financial sector, small or big. Now, what is my experience? That over the last 20 years, regardless of how the sector has done, there are at least 5 or 10 winners every year. Regardless, every 1-2 years there will be big winners. So that opportunity still stands. So I can't go and thumb the table and say that you buy the financial sector. But will I get opportunity within the financial sector to make meaningful money? The answer is yes. Pharma is, I continue to like. The behavior of the pharmaceutical stock is being very good. We are seeing the results are coming out very well in the last 3-4 quarters. We have spoken to number of companies where we have significant investment. I think the result for the next 4 to 8 quarters look really good and promising for a lot of these companies, which will be better than what the average results will be for the overall market. So pharma is another sector which we like. Third, I think government thrust on infrastructure will continue. We've spoken about these companies in detail many times. So select opportunities on the EPC side, on the infrastructure side will continue there. And then it is all bottom up.
Okay, let's talk about two areas over the weekend. One, transformer company came out with results. You had some exposure in there. I want to understand transformer story has played out. because these stocks have become 8-9 times in the last 1 year. And also data center, because now big developments are coming in cloud. Some of these companies are even tying up with Google, etc. You have exposure in those areas as well.
Yeah, so data center, we made a significant investment in one data center company, which was a private company. And so I'm very bullish. I think this whole privacy law and the data being retained here and the amount of data which we are generating today. So data center as a play and anything which is peripheral around the data center, according to me, will do well. Transformer, Ajay, with full disclosure, we have been invested. We spoke about it many times. We have trimmed some investment because of the size of the appreciation. But I continue to remain very positive in the medium to long run on the industry as a whole. These are very deep cycles, the downturn as well as the upturns. They don't happen like 1 year cycle.
Quickly, yeah.
So अभी ये जो नया cycle चालू हुआ है, I expect this to last at least 5-10 years. And within that, there are select companies which will continue
Madhu,
to do
last time you were with us, you were literally, in your words, thumping the table on liquor stocks.
Yes.
And how beautifully the entire sector has done. Most of them sitting life highs. But again, for retail participants who are wondering, maybe I invested less, let me jump in now. What's the word there?
So this is a really good structural story, in my opinion, and I'll take a 2 minutes to just explain.
Sure,
I don't know whether we
please.
got the time to talk
We do,
about
we
it
do.
last
Please,
time.
go ahead.
So see, if I look at Motai, which is the largest Chinese company, right? That company makes more than $10 billion of profit every year. Their EBITDA margin is between 60 to 80%. And they have seen consistent growth over the last 20 years, right? Their market capitalization is $325 billion, right? One company.
Wow.
And they sell more than 600 million cases. So the profit pool in China, in the liquor sector, if one company is making more than 10 billion, and I assume it will have the most significant share.
Portfolio.
So we don't know about the other companies, but the profit pool will be more than $15 billion every year.
Sure.
Versus India, we have calculated for all listed companies, the profit pool is only $500 million.
Oh, not even a billion. Wow.
Not even, only $500 million.
There's a huge gap.
It includes United Spirits, United Breweries, you have taken everything, right? मैं बोल रहा हूँ चलो थोड़ा बहुत प्राइवेट ले लो 1 बिलियन होगा तो it is the gap is between 1 billion and 15 billion. The second point, this is not per capita consumption of Mercedes car that you can live without, right? This is liquor. We have a much younger population as compared with China. There are many different occasions for celebration in India.
Yeah.
We have so many festivals, you have so many things up and down.
Weddings,
And आप गम में भी पीते हो और खुशी में भी पीते हो.
Very universal in
Yeah.
its consumption.
I think why is it that the companies are not making profit? Because obviously there is a lot of pilferage which is there because this is still a state government controlled system. So let me tell you, one government which has done an exceptional job with data, I will tell you, is UP, right? So UP excise collection was only 9,000 crores in 8,500 crores to be precise in 2011-12. Can you guess what the collection will be this year? Just a guess करो ना. आप करो ना guess.
2-3x.
Huh?
2-3x.
2-3x. It
Five?
is 52,000 crores.
Oh my God.
What? Okay.
9,000 crores to 50.
Became
Yeah,
5x.
8,500 crores to 52,000 crores. What did they do? In year 2017-18, when the Yogi government came, previous law was that there was one wholesaler who would control the entire trade, right? He would give the government one lump
wholesale
sum money,
bulk.
but he was the one who was controlling, and he was the one who was making maximum amount of money, and I'm sure there was some political interest as well, right? So that was the case. But the government came in UP, Yogi, and they said that we'll free it up. So they made 500 wholesalers, and retail shops are also now auction, a lottery system.
Okay.
So ये किसी को भी मिल सकता है. So now the real companies which have got real brands, that is getting sold, right? I expect that the same thing eventually will have to be repeated in other states. How long can you continue to deny this kind of revenue? So the entire buoyancy in the UP economy in 2017-18 also the excise collection was only 17,500 crores. Versus that in 5 years from 17,500 crores, you have gone to 52,000 crores. Data, and these are not Madhu Kela's opinion.
These are facts and numbers. Yeah.
This is real data. So I am structurally very bullish on this sector. I think, and I have taken a real long-term view that, you know, and it's made again the beauty is that, you know, if you make alcohol, which is 90 to 92% content, alcohol content, which let's say will sell at 200 rupees a bottle, versus a 10,000 rupees a bottle. The only difference is that you have to distill it for 72 hours more.
Yeah.
There is no added material. Material वो 20 रुपए का सड़ा हुआ चावल और 25 रुपए का जौ ही है. So there is no real material which you are doing. Which is why as higher premiumization you move, your margins are significantly higher. So for academic purpose, when I went abroad, I bought that Motai's one liquor. It was $4,200.
Wow.
One bottle of liquor. I will keep it, preserve it, because it's like an investment which I made to understand that this is where some of the Indian companies can go.
Yeah. Interesting, but absolutely the kind of wealth that has been generated. But a quick question, if I can ask, given the fact you're talking about wealth generation, urban consumption and all of that, where do you think the real estate cycle is, and that affluent India cycle which had begun 2 years ago, do you think there is sign of peaking out there, or will it continue?
I don't think it will peak out so easily. Again, these are very deep cycles. You know, we have had a 10, 12 years of real bad phase in the real estate sector. It's just been 2-3 years. There will be some aberration, some pockets will, you know, look like they are peaking out. But I think this is a much longer cycle. And affluent people actually are getting more affluent. If you look at in India, people who are coming, stock option businesses are doing very well. And post-COVID, everyone wants to live their life, you know. So even though if saving is less, so they are saving. So I don't think this is something which will die down so easily, certainly not in 2-3 years. I think this will be a much longer cycle.
Much longer cycle and much longer bull cycle that we are witnessing. Thank you, sir, for making time and speaking with us. Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure being here. And thank you so much.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.